Thank you so much for joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, yeah. Hi, my name. Currently, I'm working as ServiceNow developer at for more than 3 years now. So during this period, I have been mostly working in the domains of IT asset management and IT operations management, mostly in the segment of integrations
Okay.
and some more of the process improvements as well. So I have mentioned few projects which I have worked on during my work at
Okay. What is your current project?
my current project, I'm working as DevOps engineer actually.
Okay.
They
So what is
specialize
your role?
in, yeah, DevOps engineer.
Yeah, DevOps. Okay. But what exactly you're doing at the moment? What in DevOps?
So actually, right now we are moving towards the CMDB quality part. Previously, we used to work on IT asset management development and as well as IT operation management development and integration system
Mm-hmm.
with multi-source CMDB and other stuff. But yeah, now mostly we are concerned about CMDB part. So we are working towards.
Okay. Do you know what is CMDB governance?
Not exactly. I haven't gone through that, but yeah. So CMTV governance, there will be certain governance team where they will go through all the quality issues that are happening and
Mhm.
discuss over it. And based on the impact and the priority, they basically mention what all things needs to be improved upon that, and they provide it to the feedback to the cascading team so that they will try to improve those certain parts and sections.
Okay. Oh, what all you have done in CMDB?
Yeah, with respect to CMDB, like mostly I have been working on integrations using the integration hub ETL, and as I mentioned, I have a project with generic write API. So we are basically sending payload to the staging tables. From there, the ETL kicks in and attempts to write the data onto the target tables.
Okay. Suppose I want to move, very huge amount of data in ServiceNow. Let's say it's in
Yeah.
terabyte, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, so what should be the recommendation from your side, being a developer here? What you think we should do as a best practice while moving that
Okay.
data?
Yeah. So how exactly we are going to import the data? Like, is it from the outside or within the system? It depends on that.
So that is outside.
Yeah. So if it is from outside, we recommend that the data comes to the staging table first. Based on that, it can transfer slowly based on we can use the batching process to process all the information so that the system doesn't get overloaded. That is my recommendation.
Okay. Apart from that, any other recommendation?
Um,
When we should move the data, what should be the timing?
Yeah, we generally prefer in the non-business hours because when more amount of data is flowing in, when we are working in the business hours, it tends to decrease the performance of the instance and thereby the user experience hampers. So rather we go for non-business hours to do such things.
Okay. Have you worked on CMDB Query Builder?
No, I haven't worked on it.
You know what is it?
Yeah, I do know about because the thing is using Query Builder, we can get like the relationship. We can create the relationship between these things to query the CIs present with that. So that's how I know it, but I haven't personally worked up on the CMDB query builder.
Okay. You worked on IT asset management, right? So
Yeah,
how an asset is related to a CI?
yeah. So asset and CI, if we can mention that. A CI is like uh, intangible asset where we it might it is physical or usable entity,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the C Oh, I mean, I hate Netflix. Yeah, like configuration item, if we say it can be an intangible item where it might be a item which may be present with us or might not be present. Whereas an asset, if you say it's like our laptops, consumables, and everything that we have, or whether it be a software entity.
Okay, so let's say if I decommission a particular CI, what will happen to the asset?
Yeah, it depends on the policy of the company. Some companies prefer to send it to the vendor, and some companies provide it to the scrap. So it depends on the policy of the
No, no, no.
company.
I'm not asking the real time thing. I'm asking in
Okay.
CMDB. What will
Okay.
happen
In
in
CMDB,
CMDB?
we generally
I'm,
change like yeah.
I'm
Sorry for
not
that.
asking. Okay,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So with respect to CMDB, like there are two ways. One is like if the company is implementing life cycle stages, we'll have this retiral process, like all these things. We set it to retired, non-operational
Mm-hmm.
in normal statuses like hardware status and substatus. If we are going for life cycle, there are separate stages for that. We haven't implemented like that as of now. We are about to do that. So yeah.
So what type of asset management you have configured or done? Is hardware or software?
We have both of them, but yeah, we have separate teams to work up on it. Like for
Okay.
hardware, we have a separate team. For software, we have a separate team.
No, no,
But
I'm asking what you have done. It's
yeah,
not about your
so
company. What specifically was your role in IT asset management?
yeah, in IT asset management, we are like we implement the processes, not exactly the items which are present on the system.
Mm-hmm.
So for the items which are present on the system, there is a separate team which handles that. What all laptops or assets that are present, all these things they work upon it. But all the processes, like when we are procuring the particular systems or the request management or the retirement process, those things we come upon.
Okay, so tell me in software asset management, what all license types we have?
I haven't worked upon software asset management. As I mentioned, like mostly I worked on hardware asset management itself, and that too, as I mentioned in the project section, I worked upon this hardware asset management request fulfillment flow. That was the
Okay,
major one which I worked upon.
okay. Let's suppose we have a data center,
Okay,
and in that data center, we got a requirement to decommission that data center and migrate the things to some other data center. Okay.
okay,
So, what should be your approach as a IT asset management engineer? How you
yeah,
proceed to decommission all these things? What should be the approach you follow?
yeah. So first thing is we need to know exactly what all servers are present, what all things are currently running on the data center.
Okay.
So for that, we can use discovery if it is a large data center by itself, because we don't know what all things are running upon it. So personally, in our place, we had done one such use case where we had to decommission one data center
Mm-hmm.
and move to a different one. So at that time, from our perspective, what we have done is we knew what all servers are there based on the location and other details.
Okay.
And then what we have done is first we have first the infrastructure team has shifted the systems to new data center, and then we have created mid servers on that particular data center and started discovering those servers.
Okay.
And once they are up and running from our end, we started to decommission all the servers which are part of that old data set.
Okay. Okay. Great. Tell me the difference between probes and sensors, and there is pattern.
Yeah. So probes is like we are asking for the information from the particular system. So let's say if it's a server, the service now is trying to ask the particular system, provide me your details so that I can understand what you are and what all details you have. So let's say um, at start it will try to ask for the ports, which all ports are open on your end.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that, if it's a Windows server, it will show that my WMI port is open.
Okay.
So based on that, it will start sending the classification probes and all those, and it will try to authenticate with the server. Upon that, it will check upon the identification probes as well. And based on the information, the sensors will act upon and populate the data in the CMDB. So now, right now, the patterns which we are mentioning, those are like we can create those patterns to it acts almost like sensor and probes itself. Like probes are still running. We are almost trying to replace the sensors
Mm-hmm.
where we are getting the information which we are getting from the probes. We are trying to uh, utilize it and keep it in the CMDB.
Okay. So you are saying sensor and patterns are same thing?
It's not the same, but yeah, both are like trying to work upon the similar functionality.
So when we already have sensors and all, right, probe and sensor request and responses there, why
Yeah,
we have introduced this patterns? Not we, means ServiceNow.
yeah. So
I just wanted to know advantage of having a pattern.
yeah, so patterns like sensors and other things they do work upon, but it's a bit complex to work upon if we are trying to make a complex patterns. Like the patterns help us to create all these things like how we can say. Um, I don't know exactly why they want to introduce this, but the thing is, it wants to simplify the development of these uh, sensors.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, no problem. Tell me more about this service mapping. How it is
yeah,
different from regular discovery.
yeah. So regular discovery, it's like trying to get up on the information from a particular CI,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the service mapping is like it's a top-down approach where there are two types of service mappings mainly. One is like web-based service mapping and this client-based service mapping. Where in a web-based service mapping, we generally mention the URL of the particular business service or like the application service. And based upon that, it will try to get all the information like the load balancers, the web servers, the application servers, and the database tagged to that particular service.
Okay.
Whereas in a discovery, we generally tend to discover a particular CI along with its softwares and other things.
So what is the advantage? Which one is more beneficial here?
Yeah, so if we have many application services and we want to know like what all servers are present within a particular application service, service mapping is the best way forward. But if you want to know like what all devices present across our infrastructure, yeah, discovery also helps us out.
Okay, so can we say that these two things are independent of each other?
Yeah, like not exactly independent. One utilizes the other, but in a different fashion.
Okay. So if service mapping is running, but if discovery is not running, will you be able to assess the impact
Um,
properly?
Service mapping also utilizes discovery in
Right.
other fashions. Yeah.
Right. So,
So if discovery fails, then service mapping also cannot work upon.
okay, great. Tell me more about Service Graph Connector, what you did in that, what integration I see in your resume,
Yeah.
like work on multiple integration like Service Graph Connector. So what
Yeah.
is Service Graph
So
Connector first of all, and what integration you have done on?
yeah. So service graph connectors, these things help us in populating the CMDB through several systems like Intune, SCCM, etc., where we get the information on this hardware like in our case, what we are doing is once the system has been provided to the end user, we want to know like whether the system is being used or not. We want to monitor the system. For the purpose, we are using the service graph connector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And with respect to what I have worked upon in the Intune, we have two different things. One is like with respect to HoloLens, where we want to know whether the user is using the HoloLens on day-to-day basis or like when exactly the last usage he has done.
Okay. What is this bulk IP discovery project?
Yeah, so bulk IP discovery. Yeah, like in the discovery, if we see. generally we try to do a quick discovery from our end. And
Mhm.
as a developer, we have access to this discovery schedules and other things. But for the end user, he doesn't have that capability to create the schedules. So what we have done is through a catalog item, we are asking the end user to provide the required details as the IP address and the location where he wants to um, check upon. And based on the details, it will try to create a temporary schedule in the system
Mhm.
and will discover all the CIs which he has mentioned, like in the IP addresses. And after the processing of discovery, it uses the discovery admin plugin to analyze the logs and provide the analysis, like what all servers have been discovered. If certain servers are not discovered, what might be the possible reason behind that?
So what all roles you have provided to the user in order to accomplish or see all these things?
We are not providing anything. We are generally creating a PDF after the analysis is completed. So any user who wants to submit a discovery, he can submit the catalog item by
Okay.
providing an Excel sheet of all the IP addresses he want.
Okay.
And once the discovery and the discovery admin process is completed, we will get the PDF analysis out of it and we'll attach it to the same request.
Okay. You are doing everything in background and just attaching the PDF.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Just a second. Suppose you have a idea about ACLs.
Yeah, I do have a bit of an idea of ACLs.
Okay. Suppose let's say I want only ITL users to see, or let me rephrase, I want ITL users to see only in progress incidents. How should I approach in this requirement? So if you are an ITL user, you log into the system, you go to incident table, you will see only in progress incidents, rest all are hidden. So what
Yeah,
all approaches you have here? How to accomplish this requirement?
yeah, we can accomplish in two ways. One is through ACLs and another is through before query business rule. So with respect to ACL, I think we can use.
Which one is more overheaded? Which one is lightweight, let's say, like
Okay.
this?
Um, Lightweight, if I say, I think we can go with ACL because business rule is like a customized script from our end to say
Mm-hmm.
that these things has to do. But when we come to the order of execution, before query is the first one which acts upon, and then the ACLs will kick in.
So which one you choose to implement? ACL or
Um,
before query?
it depends. Like if you want the end users to have a bit more better experience on the system, we can go with before query because if we go with ACLs, at the end it will show like some records have been redacted due to security constraints.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if we go with business before query business rule, it won't show any such thing, but it will only provide all the records to which he has access to. It
Okay.
won't show any uh, info in the bottom of the page, like some records have been redacted.
Okay. You know what is orchestration?
Um, I haven't worked upon orchestration, but yeah, I heard that it is used for automation process and such things, but no, I haven't worked on orchestration.
Okay. What about event management?
Yeah, we do have event management within our system. We are using it right now. Um, I haven't configured them, but yeah, I do know a bit of how event management works.
Have you created any mid server?
Yeah, I did create a mid server. Like in the last 15 days itself, I have created few of them.
Okay, let's say if I want to do load balancing in mid server, what should you do?
Yeah, we can create mid clusters and we can attach them to the discovery schedules. We have them, and based on the mid clusters, it acts upon them.
Okay. Great. Okay, so I'm done with the interview. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Do you have any question?
Yeah, like, can you provide me like what all I have to improve upon so that I
You
can
have
learn much?
a good knowledge, whatever you have mentioned in the resume. That is the good point here. I asked
Yeah.
almost many questions from your resume only. So I
Okay.
see you have good command. Just make sure whatever you have written here, you have good command on that.
Mm.
Rest keep on practicing because ITOM and ITAM, like you mentioned, it's a complete asset management, but
Yeah.
software asset management is not done by you. So at least have
Yeah.
some basic knowledge of software asset management, also licensing and all. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
I will
writing
do
here
that
is
one.
not help here.
Okay.
If you are writing, it means they expect you to answer all the questions with respect to that. So this is
Okay.
the one feedback which I can give. Rest your communication is good, your command is good, and uh, if you do all these small changes, it will be good for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best.
Yeah. Thank you, Minder.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.